Hello and welcome to CyberGamer TV. My name's Gaz and alongside me is my buddy John. Say hello, John.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Alright, sorry, I won't do that anymore. I just promised Chris that I would. Hello everybody and welcome to CyberGamer TV. Coming up for you tonight we've got two fantastic games for you. First will be the semi-final, which will be granted against Make It, which should be coming up very shortly, and then after that we will of course have the final, which will be the winner of this game going up against FaZe.
We will indeed, and I can't wait to see who gets through. I mean, I think it's fair to say, granted, they're probably the stronger side out of the two. Obviously they competed in CyberGamer Invite last season where they actually came third, so yeah. I think, they got a lot of experience under their belts.
Yeah, I think quite a few of them have been to LAN as well. I'm not like looking through the Make It lineup. I can't really say I've heard of too many of them. In fact, I don't think I've heard of any of them.
No, I mean they had a. We're free to bring the brackets up, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, as you can see, they did have a relatively easy route through.
So let's just have a look who they went up against. So Ivanik, they went up against and beat them 2-0. They then went through and then went on to play CoD4, which was a bit of a harder game, I guess, because they managed to drop one map, but that was a 2-1 game. And now they've got to play Granted, who have actually like had a pretty hard little bracket. They went up against Venom Esports and then Sick, of course, winning both of those 2-0 to make it through to this far. Yeah, and of course
the Venom lineup. I mean, I think it was three of their team. I mean, they competed in CGI last season, so you know. They granted have had a harder bracket, it's fair to say.
Yeah, but knowing all of these players as well, you know, I think a lot of them were, you know, in the big Dutch teams going back a couple of months or even years. You know, there was players that was considered very good from the Netherlands. I think they're all from the Netherlands. Am I correct?
I think it's the Benelux team.
Oh, okay.
One of them is Belgium.
We got some Belgian buns in there as well. Okay.
I think.
But yeah, so it's gonna be difficult for Make It to come out with something here. But I think, you know, if they do it, it's gonna make it even more worth it. Prove that they're they're not here because their bracket was the easier side, but because, you know, they deserve to be here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, I think at the moment we're just waiting on us two to ready up. Woo.
So let's get it underway.
Yeah, so for those of you who maybe haven't really seen Call of Duty 4 Pro Mod played, what it is, it's a modification that strips the game down to its bare bones. And what happens when they play this, they will go for a knife round to start with, and then the loser of the knife round will eliminate the first map, and then the winner will eliminate one. It'll go like that until we have 3 maps left to play. It is, of course, all search and destroy as well, so just expect that to be the case.
As I seem to be making a meal of this knife round, as per ever.
2v2. Make a 2v1. 1v1. Drove. There we go. Strove goes down. So it's going to be Granted who will eliminate the first map. Tactical decisions now being made as to what they're going to want to play against this Make It lineup. And they must be thinking about this pretty carefully. From what I've seen in the past, Granted favour Crossfire, so they're going to want to try and keep that one in. Backlot is the first map to be eliminated. I think Granted prefer the sort of longer range engagements. You know, you got the power of Strove, the AK. You got Wizard as well, the scope, I believe. So they're going to want to try and take those and remain with the long range maps. Crash is then taken out by Make It. So I think Crossfire has been decided as the first map, City as the second, and I believe it's Strike as the third. So here we go.
For some reason I can't talk whilst XSplit is open.
Well, that's quite strange. Welcome to all 50 of you in the chat, by the way. Thank you for joining us tonight. We haven't got no front page promotion at this point in time, so everyone who is here, I guess, is a dedicated Call of Duty 4 fan. Or maybe you're just here to troll, which I have seen quite a few of you in the chat.
More than likely.
It's always nice to see. Even the people who enjoy COD still troll, so...
That's what makes gaming fun.
Yeah, or frustrating depending on which side of the trolling you are.
You can never get annoyed by trolls.
Well, at least if you don't show it, you're alright. But as soon as someone starts getting angry at a troll, that's it, then you're trolled for life. So I'm just going to make sure I'm readied up, because I'm always, you know, the last one that's readied up, and I don't seem to realise it until I'm getting shouted at by 10 million people. Yeah. Someone saying the nail in the coffin for CoD4 was Tech9 merging with Esports Heaven.
I think that was the nail in the coffin for Heaven Media.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really merging with Esports Heaven. It was Cadred and Tech9 merging together, which I think is true. I think Tech9, although weren't the most, you know, the best looking site, you got the news you wanted pretty easily. It was there, ready for you to see.
And I was always a fan of, you know, I always believed it should have moved to Cadred, if anything, rather than Esports Heaven.
Yeah, potentially, because Tech9 was sort of dying and, well, just losing activity and such, so the logical move would have been to move to Cadred, because, I mean, you got CSGO now, the sort of thriving esports game.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what Cadred focused on for a long time, so...
But hey, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's true. Granted win this knife with ease, the one where it probably matters in terms of the side. So, Granted, opting for that attack side, which is a very popular thing that you do see on this map. People favouring that attack side just because of the ease that it is to get to that B-bomb site. Not many teams going towards A. It's a lot harder to take. You need a lot more map control. So.
Yeah, definitely, and it'll be interesting to see just how Make It can defend against the side of Granted.
Yeah. Are we in full screen now, by the way? Just making sure.
We will be going now.
Fantastic. Also, just a quick run through the lineups for Granted. We've got Din, Strove, Wizard, Dakaz, and Hidza. And then for the Make It lineup, we've got Mensch, Blooper, Jeffsy, Apu, and Arx. So that's a quick little roster. Actually, just going to kick it off. Let's see someone who's going to get aggressive. Actually, we're going to follow off with a Granted scope. Wizard just gone into the top of the corner house. Going to be peeking towards Melons, making sure no SMG can get aggressive on there. And they're going to try and get the bomb down, but a fantastic time nade there from Mensch. And also the shots coming from his SMG, able to pick up 2 kills. So it's all even at this point in the game. And Wizard actually spot one pushing up. He throws out shots, comes around the back, takes him down with that SMG. Mensch having a round of his life at the moment. 3 men down for Granted, all at the hands of Mensch. And Hidza going to try and get this bomb down, trying to go for the full, hoping it would trick out Mensch. Gets tagged up while trying to plant, stops it. And Mensch doing his job at the moment. Hidza comes out with the deep... Oh, Hidza trying to go for the hipfire from the AK, but Dins is ready to avenge his teammate sitting in that top A house. And the first round goes to Granted, but what a round there from Mensch.
Yeah, indeed, and it seems like we had a bit of a shoutcaster's curse there, or a streamer's curse. Fortunately, just as we moved to Mensch, he had a bit of an aim foul.
Oh dear.
Take it away with Blooper here. He's got that sniper rifle. He's trying to rain through that smoke and land a tag, but he isn't spotting anyone as we move over to Hidza here. And he's not quite spotting anyone either. And this is where it gets awkward, because now I'm having to flip through everyone.
It's alright.
And
Mensch again now.
Yeah, heavily tagged up here as he's attacked from that A site, as he just finds himself in a spot of bother, as he will be now just holding that B site whilst his teammate Arx is all that remains. It's taken down by Dins, and solid round here from Granted yet again. Yeah,
looking a lot stronger that round after managing to shut down Mensch. I mean, Mensch was still able to get in that B house, but wasn't able to utilise the positioning that he'd managed to get. So, actually, I'm just going to take it off with Mensch from the start, see what we can do. Never mind, 2 nades, well, 1 nade, sorry, coming out, taking down 2 players, Mensch up who. But Dakaz getting aggressive on Caf, managed to push down through the smoke, spots 1 player down B alley, takes him down, bomb's going to go down now, and it's Jeffsy all alone, taken down from the AK of Dakaz. And another strong round there from Granted.
It's just too good. I mean, their nades are just, catch and make it out off guard completely. Yeah, getting them out early. They're stopping Make It from being able to get into the positions they need to get into, and it's working in their favour. You know, they can get the bomb straight down.
Yeah.
We do see Dakaz here, just in B alley, trying to hold that calf push so that the bomb planter can maybe plant by the wall here. They're not opting to fake it just yet, as the Make It team do hear that bomb plant and peek one by one, but Dins gets a lovely double frag there, manages to take down Mensch and Apu as he hears the guy coming up the stairs. Lands the third frag onto Jeffsy, and it's all down to Blooper now as he's in a 1-on-4 situation. 30 seconds left on that clock. Lands the frag onto Hitzer. Can he land the scope shot? Doesn't manage to tag him as Dins comes down with the AK, and it's 4-0 already.
Yeah, and just look at the scoreboard. Dins 12-1 after 4 rounds. I've got to take it away and see what he's doing. But Make It have really got to try and change up what they're doing, because at the moment it's definitely not working. But it looks like Dins is going to be that player that gets the aggressive push towards A house, and of course that positioning on A house gives you so much control of the map. He's already tagged up, but he's taken down Mensch with that kill, and it's probably going to be an important one as Dins is ruling the roost at the moment. Mensch with his second kill, and Mensch, the only player really at the moment who's able to get kills to Make It. Bomb is down though. Strove was able to get that one down while Make It was distracted by those players towards A. It's shutting down Mensch before he can push up through Mattress. Blooper with a kill onto his opposition scope. And Hidza, last man alive. And Jeffsy well covered there after the fake came out from Make It, which means Arx is going to get a little free defuse here. And that's going to definitely be a round that Make It would have wanted.
Yeah, stop the rut. Stop the the continued abuse, and try and pull it away. I mean, if we take it away with, who should we take it away with? Take it away with a Poo here. He's looking to get that nade down the street as he darts away from the enemy fire. He's now watching out for those nades, and he's looking to op the lower A. He doesn't actually know Dins is there. He does get shot at. Well, it's actually Dakaz as he chimes in with a frag of his own, and
explosives planted.
Strove there, managing to get the bomb down, and now Make It have only 40 seconds left on that clock to get to the bomb site, defuse it, and kill the remaining players of Granted.
Look at Dakaz's position.
Yeah, well, they seem to have missed each other completely, and
the position there from Dakaz, he was able to get control of A, and instantly, I've said it before, like Make It then just start to focus too much and really need to shut down anyone getting towards A. But Mensch with 2 kills onto Wizard and Dins, which makes it a 1v1. 12 seconds left. Mensch gonna have to try and go for the defuse straight away. I feel as there's only 8 seconds left, and now he's got to go for a full. But yeah, there we go. Dakaz knows he hasn't got the time. Just push it up and takes him down.
And it really is just a battle of the SMGs at the moment, which is surprising. I mean, yeah, I think sort of Crossfire is synonymous with the old scope battles here, but yeah, Dins and Mensch are really doing it for their teams right now.
Oh, so Dins actually went for the A push, got tagged up in the window, tried to back off but couldn't do it. But Dakaz and Dins getting the kills for this Granted lineup.
Explosives planted.
Dins trying to go for the wallbang to this guy in bottom A. There is a scope back A as well. Dins not able to pick up that frag, but Blooper and Jeffsy both tagged up extremely heavily. Dins going for the aggressive push onto the bottom of A, tagging down Jeffsy. 1 player left. It's a scope. Blooper picks up that frag. 30 seconds left on the bomb, but he's got 3 players to find. Wizard, Strove and Hidza all remaining. And Blooper in a bit of a pickle here. There we go.
Huh.
Wizard with that final killing blow.
And it's just obliteration at the minute, really. I mean, Granted, yeah, they're getting that bomb down every single round, no trouble at all.
What's interesting as well is they're putting like pretty much 2 players towards A every time.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said earlier, getting control of that A site is key. It gives you full control over the map. You can look into that cross.
Oh, sorry. I was just watching Dakaz. He pushed straight down middle street, and he was pretty much in their spawn, but wasn't able to get a kill. And he's now raging it. Well, I'll say raging in chat. He's taking the mickey out of himself because he knows he messed up there. But bomb down again. So
I was just gonna say, I mean, once again, yeah, the bomb's gone down. It's as if Make It aren't throwing their nades.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way to stop that plant, or at least delay it, you know. Throw a nade, stop the plant, and try and draw the round out longer.
Yep.
Obviously, the longer the round goes on, the bigger the pressure becomes on the attack side, so...
Yeah, and the lead's getting ever increasing, 7-1. Not looking too good for Make It at this point, but however, you know, this is the stronger side that Granted are on attack, should you play it right, but from what I've seen before, Strove on defense is also a beast in CAF for that B site. But Dakat with the aggressive push again, once again, onto A. Picks up a frag
Explosives planted.
onto Jeffsy. There is another player just outside of A towards his own spawn. Just see who that is. It is a Poo who's tagged up, decided to dart across towards CAF. And now he's getting tagged up through the walls. Player in BL8 takes him down, Dins, but Wizard finally finishes him off after being heavily tagged. And yeah, strong start.
I mean, Granted are getting into A every single round, and I'm not really sure what Make It are doing wrong here. I mean, chances are their nades aren't catching them out, you know. But it seems like the SMGs, they just need to play a bit more aggressively and try and catch off Dims and Dakas before they do the damage. As we do see Hidza here, he's firing into that lower A. He does spot the Cav guy, lands a lovely frag there onto Arcs as the bomb goes down once again. And the Make It team have just 40 seconds left to stop the plant and defuse it, rather. And Wizard lands a tag onto Jeffsy as Dins comes around for a shot on his own onto Blooper, and Strove finishes it off, taking Jeffsy out in, what, 5 minutes? 9-1?
Yeah.
This is a whitewash.
Yeah, this is, well, it would be a whitewash if it was 0. Come on, John.
This is almost a whitewash.
Okay, almost a whitewash works. Right, I'm actually going to take it away with Blooper, who is the scope for Make It. He's decided to go straight across towards A. There's now 2 players from Granted pushing towards A. One of them taken down with a nade from Apu. Strove then replies onto Arcs. Bomb has been planted. No, it hasn't. There we go. There's the nade we was talking about earlier. Blooper lands one onto Strove, which means the bomb isn't going to get down quite yet. The first time we've probably seen a nade connect once the plant's been going down. Something that Make It should have done a long time ago. 3v3, sorry, at the moment. Wizard tagged up heavily. And at the moment, it looks like Granted are playing the patient game, waiting for Make It to make the first mistake. And coming from an experienced team, that's what you tend to see when you get into these sort of situations. Flash coming out of Dins, tagging up Mensch, finally taken down with a headshot of the SMG. Now pushing in towards A. There is a player, but he's at bottom A. That is Jeffsy. Dins can hear the shots coming out, knows exactly where he is. Probably knows where both of these players are.
Wow.
Oh, great shot there onto the scope of Dins, jumping out the window. Gets a tag onto Jeffsy in the bottom of A. His teammates are also firing shots towards him, and wow. Great play from Dins, and he's 21-6.
Yeah, and he really is just pulling his weight for the team. I mean, you see Dinzo with 21, and Dak has the other SMG on 12, and then Hidza coming up with the 7. So, I mean, it really is just all Dins at the minute. He's getting into A, he's just demolishing the Make It side, and they just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, Apu got good positioning there on B side, but his teammate had obviously called him out that he was there. And was able to pick up an easy frag, and 11-1 at the half. Oh, what if you're Make It right now? What are you saying?
I don't think you're saying anything, to be honest. I think the round's over before you can even
Speak.
even make a call.
Yeah, but I think it's it's just obvious actually looking at the scoreboard that Make It have to shut down these SMGs. They need nades, they need flashes, they need wall bangs, they need something to stop these SMGs.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that Make It just are probably underprepared. You know, they, as you say, they haven't got the nades, and they're allowing Granted to walk all over them.
Yeah, you said they haven't got the nades, although they picked up 2 nade kills to start this round off. Can they pick up any more? Is the question. Both teams playing it cautiously. The bomb carrier, Jeffsy, doesn't want to push quite yet. Jeffsy going for the fake. If anyone's got nades, you'd expect it to be Granted for the bomb. A nade does come out. Great shots there coming out of Blue Panther. It's up. And Din's also getting tagged up. The round looking very good at the moment for Make It. 50 seconds left, and Jeff's just decided to go for a full plant. Any more nades coming out of Granted? I don't think so.
Explosives
Shots
planted.
also coming through the wall, but non-connect. And now it's Wizard in a 1v4. And the first round of attack for Make It goes to Make It.
Yeah, and it's probably fair to say, the reason for that round was because of their nades. But
Yeah. They got
new
two
side,
to start
new
with,
half. They've had a little bit of time just to talk out what they're going to do, and they've probably already written the map off. They probably just want to get on with the next map.
Maybe, but if I'm a team, I'd probably try and win, like, no matter what. Like, I don't think I'd ever write a map off, because you never know what will happen.
Yeah, but you then suddenly get into the mindset of, I think if you write the map off, you sort of go, right, let's just focus on the next one. Don't worry about this one. It's happened. You get
True,
yourself prepared
that's
for
true.
the next map. I mean,
And I guess as well, like, sometimes when you play sort of without a care, you actually play better.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it could always work, like, double favoured. But Granted, getting the better of this round so far. Apu, last man, got his deagle out, sees one player towards the top of his straight shots being fired towards him. Apu not landing anything, and now Granted are just going to have him locked in, and he's going to have to do well to wriggle out of this one. Wizard already pre-aiming that door, and it's 12-2, and Granted only going to need one more round.
Yeah, and we see them with 10, map points, if you like. But if we take it away with Blooper here, with that sniper rifle.
Oh.
Wizard there! Looks like we followed the wrong side, but Wizard managed to land a quick double frag. Dakas chimes in with one of his own onto Mensch as he takes down Arcs, and Jeffsy chimes in with one to Dakas as Jeffsy suddenly finds himself on his own, but Din's finishes the round, and 13-2 is your scoreline.
Yeah, Din's really leading the way there. 26 frags. Unbelievable for the amount of rounds that were played. You sort of expect to see that towards, the end of a game that's gone pretty much the full length.
Yeah.
But like I said before, when we was on Backlot and we was doing the knife for the maps, I mentioned that Granted are probably going to pick Cross, and that's exactly what they did, and you can see the reason why they did that.
Yeah, no, I think both Crossfire and City are the sort of maps that if you have your strats, if you have your nades, you're onto a winner. I mean, I think they're very team-friendly maps. I mean, you look at a map like Backlot, that's a map that I would be saying, I'd say it's favourable by mix. You can get away with certain flaws in your tactics, whereas Crossfire and City, you really do need them locked down.
Yeah, and I think that's obvious from the fact that Granted eliminated Backlot first, because we have said it time and time again when we've seen Backlot played that it is more favourable towards the team that maybe doesn't have the best teamwork, because just in terms of the close quarterness, anything can happen, nades and such, like the randomness can catch teams out.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all up to me, so I'm going to ready up at some point when I can get in game. I did alt tab. There we go.
So I mean, winner of the knife round. If you won, what side would you prefer?
I'd say defense. I think if you set up well on defense, have the right nades, which an experienced team should have, then realistically you should be able to set up like a rock on defense.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps these days, perhaps the map's a bit more balanced these days. I mean,
yeah, I think the fact that more teams utilise the A site in terms of attack has sort of like switched it up a bit. Most of the time teams would attack B, and it's once someone's got a good defense on there, it's extremely hard to attack. But we see a lot more A pushes and stuff coming out, which tends to.
The problem with that B alley, well, that B push, if you like, is where we stood now on Mensch's screen. That's anomalous for nades. It's a nade fest, frankly, and it makes it so difficult to attack that B site.
Yeah.
So as you say, I mean that's what, I think that's why a lot of teams begin to have started to prefer the A site, just purely because it's funny saying this, but it's still the unexpected.
Yeah, I guess usually you send like one guy to A.
Yeah.
And then you'll have your sniper watching over middle or something. You'll have maybe one guy pushing towards market, which will mean then realistically, as long as the market guy doesn't die, the only way they can attack A is from car park.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's why teams sort of still don't expect it as much, but it's a completely viable strat. Mensch getting off to a good start on this map. The first round, Mensch coming up huge once again. Was able to get 3 frags in the first round of the last map. Let's see if he can repeat the same and see if he can lead his team to victory. Mensch the standout player for Make It as it stands. Wizard and Strove both picking up kills in quick succession. Slightly evening up the odds. Make that even now as Strove takes down a poop with that AK. So 2v2. Mensch still with that SMG pushing towards the B site. His teammate in B Arch also going to be trying to get across that B. He has the bomb, but they know a player's over here, so they've got to play this game perfectly. And I think Wizard may have been able to sneak away from Arx there. Maybe not, as Arx is... Oh, actually, yeah, Arx doesn't know he's there, and he's going to come into a gunfight any second now, and Arx is the winner of that one. Wizard, I think, just out of time there as he decided to start to move off, and now Make It are going to be able to get this bomb down. A nade coming out from Strobe, but I feel it's going to be too late. The bomb has gone down, and the nade hasn't even connected, so Strobe with an uphill battle now. Mensch sitting in B Arch, and Strove running across market. Arx should see him any second now, but Strove's seen him first. Arx backing off, which is probably the wiser decision. They've got time on their side. They don't need to do anything but stop Strove defusing this bomb. Strove getting tagged up. Strove able to make the first kill, can't make the second. Mensch clutches out. And the first round goes to Make It, who are on attack.
Yeah, and it seems that round Make It, they didn't really commit to a bomb site. They sort of left the bomb carrier in marketplace, whilst the other players, they sort of fended their way into the other sites. But it was fortunately, they managed to get the early pick onto B site, which then allowed them to commit to that site. As we do take it away with Hidza this round, he is holding that A Arch as he now knows there's one on that market stairs. As Strove lands a nade onto a poo, and Hidza has spotted one in that marketplace. Manages to land a few tags, but no frags as yet. As he hears one coming into A, as we flick over to Strove, as he looks to be holding that A site. Now he knows one's in that car park, spots him, doesn't manage to land the frag. And right now you have to feel that Make It will probably be making their way to that B bomb site. They know there's a heavy presence.
They're a bit spread thin though here, Make It.
Yeah, but I mean, spreading can work though, because the Granted side don't know what's going on. They don't know where it's going. They don't know if the bomb's going B, if it's going A. So then they begin to spread, and then that's when you can sort of attack that one person as a team, and it's working really well here. And yeah, they're completely cleared out that B site now, and it's going to be down to Hidza with the Deagle, but doesn't manage to land any frags, as Strove is now last alive once again, and didn't manage to clutch it last round, and it'll be interesting if he can clutch it this round.
Planted.
As now that bomb does go down, courtesy of Arx, and 35 seconds left on that clock as Strove is making his way through, but Blooper says no, and they're taking it 2-0 now, which is actually quite surprising. After Crossfire, I would have expected Granted to be a bit more on top of it.
Yeah, out the gate sort of thing, like off the mark, but that round we just saw was a lot closer. Granted were sort of like in a stronger position, but like you said, that sort of spreading themselves thin sort of worked in their favour, and they was able to actually do something. And you can see actually Make It are getting a lot more aggressive. On Crossfire they started off aggressive but got shut down pretty fast, and because of that they started to play a lot more defensive. But it seems that this is their map, this is the map they like to play, and this is the map they've got a good start off. Mensch with that SMG going over towards Dog Walk, some call it platform, and he's just checking every single corner as he knows a Granted player could be around a single one of them, any one of them. It's 3v3 and the bomb still hasn't committed towards a site yet. Arx has the bomb, but he's just watching A-Arch. They're just waiting for a teammate to pick up a kill and then sort of commit to a bomb site. But as it stands at the moment, Granted being extremely disciplined. Mensch getting on towards the A site, which might mean the bomb will go over towards there. Actually, Arx has dropped it in favour of trying to get a kill. At 25 seconds, and Make It are going to have to try and move fast as they've got to try and get the bomb down. There's only 2 players left up now, Make That. Stroger's down, and both of these Granted players are towards the B site, which means Make It are going to have a free plant on this A site. And Granted surely have got to recognise that now as the teammate was taken down.
Explosives
And the bomb
planted.
has gone down. They've made it with time. And now, what was an unfavourable position for Make It has turned quickly into a favourable one. Wizard knows as a player, but he has been flashed. He goes for a pot shot through the flash, but isn't able to connect anything. And Mensch tagged up heavily, but Wizard just can't seem to find this frag, and Mensch picks himself up an easy kill while hugging that corner. And it's 3-0 now, which is definitely a different sight to see compared to last
I
match.
mean, I think the problem with Granted is that they're not getting control of the mid site. Yeah, Make It every single round they've had full control over mid. They've had control over, you know, if you get control of mid, you determine which bomb site you want to go.
Yeah.
You know, you can easily rotate and you can split the team. So the fact Granted have been giving them mid every single round, that surprises me. But yeah, looking at this round, Make It are favoured for that straight A bomb push. Strove here manages to land a frag onto a poo, but Mensch denies Strove any more opportunity in this round as he will now be looking to hold that flower building. And we see Blooper coming in with the bomb, probably going to fake it, try and draw out a few nades, draw out a bit of fire. Mensch does manage to spot Dakas here, and he will be making their way into a little firefight in a minute as Dakas manages to land the frag onto Mensch, and he hears the bomb noise coming in from Blooper as Blooper now makes his way up to the flower site.
Dakas knows he's behind him now, though. And he's
Very
going to
true,
watch
but
it.
Blooper expecting it. And spots Hidza, and you now have to suddenly think, you know, this is in Make It's favour. He's got the time to go to B, he can easily make his way over there, and Hidza is now going to be caught with his pants down.
Yeah, but Hids are completely aware of the fact that Blooper's going to try and make a rotate. Sort of the obvious move in this situation, and he's going to hear the bomb plant as well. Will he be able to stop it before he goes down? He's not going to be able to. He tries to peek out at Arch, only getting a few tags onto Blooper. So Blooper probably in the stronger position here with the AK. Backs off. Hidza pushing strong. Tags him up by shooting that explosive barrel. Smoke goes down, and is Hidza going to try and go for the full... Oh, wow. Great
Well
position
played.
there from
Really
Blooper.
well played.
I think maybe Hidza needed to apply a bit more pressure, not stopping to try and get the defuse, because Blooper just had the drop on him all day there.
Yeah, and I mean, looking back at that, I mean, it's unfortunate what happened for Granted. Yeah, they had the mid dominance that round, but Make It decided to go for a filet push. So yeah, a bit unlucky on Granted's behalf, but interesting to see what they could do this round.
Yeah. Take it away, Johnny boy.
Oh, I took it away last round. I'll take it away again.
Okay.
Got to find someone interesting to find now. The round's gone to a stalemate. I mean, it looks like they will be trying to get that bomb, well, nowhere at this point. We find Blooper in his 1-on-3 situation. He's got 1 minute left on that clock. Hasn't got the bomb. As he's trying to land that shot onto Strove. Not managed to connect anything, as he will now be getting pushed from all angles. As he has got one coming close up to 7. Not quite sure he's aware of it. And Dins finally gets the frag and manages to bring back a round on the board.
Yeah, securing their first round on, you know, and Make It starting off extremely strong, which is something that wasn't quite expected. Wizard picking up a frag down Death Alley. Another player is going to try and go down there. Nades come out as well, and Wizard connects that one. That's going to be 2 players down fast for Make It, but they're still going with this aggressive B push, which probably isn't the wisest decision as 2 of their teammates are down. Din's tagging up a poo as well, and he's pushed down towards Laundry. Dakas with another nade for the Granted side. And now it's only Blooper and Jeff C. Blooper getting pushed at White Van. A player coming from behind, tagging him up, Dinza, but Dakas is pushing him while he's distracted, and extremely fast round for Granted, and another round that they needed.
Yeah, and I think Granted, yeah, they've sorted their nades out. They've worked out where they're getting pushed from, and yeah, they're starting to capitalise on that.
Oh wow! Look at the scoreboard. Oh my god, it was so even. There was 1 kill in it in terms of the player kills.
But, I mean, yeah, we see Hidza now. He's got into that marketplace again, but he gets taken down by Arcs, and once again, Granted have now lost control of that mid site, and Make It now have the opportunity to split Granted and make their way onto a site. And I mean, looking at that mini map, Arcs is heading the wrong direction. Of course, he doesn't know that, but you feel, you know, if he'd just gone to A, this round could have been theirs. However, Strove and Dins take down Blooper and Mention. Arcs manages to spot Wizard, takes him out with the AK, as he has now got 3 players left to find. 50 seconds left on that clock, but Dins comes back in with that final frag once again, and it's 4-3.
Yep, 3 rounds in a row for Granted, pulling it back. And let's actually take it away with Dakas. It's the SMG for this Granted lineup. Goes for a nade and a flash towards Catwalk. Looks like it's going to be an A push for this Make It side, and Dakas is still going aggressive, and he knows he's an A push now, so he's going to go straight round the back. Spots a play in the form of Jeff C getting tagged up from him. Dakas wins that gunfight, still pushing aggressive. 1 player in car park, Dakas with the deagle kill onto him as well, and now Blooper all alone gets a kill onto Dakas, but shut down quickly by Hidza. And it's 4-4, 4 rounds in a row for Granted.
Yeah, and I think they spotted that really early. You know, they had the nades into car park. I don't know who called it. I don't know who spotted it. I don't know if they just expected it, but Granted were very quick on that, and their nades, it won them the round. You know.
Yeah.
But once again, we see Hidza in that marketplace. He's in that same spot, and Make It are expecting it now. I mean, I'm not quite sure what Hidza's thinking. He's doing the exact same thing every round, and
he needs to mix it up.
It hasn't worked for the last 2 or 3 rounds, so yeah, he needs to evaluate what he's doing and just change it up a little. Try going for a rush instead of just holding back. You know, it's those little things that make the difference. But we see Dins here taking that frag onto Mensch, landing the headshot as Arcs and a Poo find themselves in a 2-on-4 situation. But Wizard lands the frag onto Arcs. It's heavily tagged up here by a Poo as he finds himself in the defense spawn house, as he is now in a 1-on-4 situation, an all-familiar situation right now. You have to heavily favour Granted in this situation. Obviously they have the bomb and the time on their side, as he isn't going to expect Strove here, as he just managed to land the frag, and Granted have now won, what's that, 5 rounds in a row?
Yep, 4-0 down. Brought it back to 5-4, and it's going to be interesting actually to see what happens after this half, as to whether Make It prefer that side or not. But they get the first frag of this round. It is Hidza, who hasn't really been able to do too much on this map. Mensch all missing shots that he shouldn't have there, and Dakas utilised that, picking up 2 frags for himself. And now Granted have a secure hold on this B site. Dakas just going to be watching underneath the stall towards B Arch, but his teammate it's just shut him down immediately. Jeff's also going down from Strove's AK, and that's now 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, it's too good. It's you know, Granted have fully, if you like, anti-stratted what Make It were doing, and it just seems like their smokes aren't. I mean, if you see here, the smokes aren't covering the whole of that top of the market. So Granted immediately, you know, they know that it's an A side. They know that the team are pushing to A because the smokes aren't there from Make It. And it just allows Granted to get the nades in early and catch them off guard. But, you know, Make It have managed to win the 1-on-1 frag battles, and we now find themselves in a 4-on-1 situation with Dins all left alive, and Bluefeld chimes in with the sniper frag. So perhaps Make It are a team that favour that A site, you know? Perhaps they should have utilised that more throughout the throughout the game.
I mean, we even said the fact that, you know, this map's become a lot more even due to teams favouring the A site, but the sort of rounds that make it have lost have been while trying to go round towards B or being undecisive. So Apu tagged up extremely heavily, finds himself sitting in market. No one really too close to him though, so he should have no trouble getting into a position that he desires. Actually, Strove coming up against Blooper. Blooper going for the shot onto the explosive barrel tag. Strove picking up that frag with the hipfire of his AK, leaving Apu all alone. And Din's sitting inside a B, sitting tight, picks up that kill. And that's 7-5 Granted at the half.
Yeah, and I think the reason for the scoreline, I mean, I think it's very likely that Granted probably went into this and just went, you know what, Crossfire was an easy map. We probably don't need to put much effort in. I can imagine they probably were all just running it, make it, arms in the air, waving at them. And then once it got to 4-0 down, it was, these guys mean business. Yeah, and we need to step it up. So we take it away with Blue for this round anyway. Does try and land a shot through to that Death Valley. Doesn't manage to connect to anyone as we do suddenly find Dins lands a frag onto Mensch as the Granted side they have that full control over mid and make it now find themselves stuck in spawn. Stackers comes out with a frag onto Blue and manages to land one on a poo, and they've now got full control of this A site as Arx tries his best to defend. Does manage to get Wizard and Strove as he will now be looking to make his third frag of the day, but Dins picks him off, and strong round there from Granted.
Yeah, good positioning from Dins, but I feel like Ark should have sort of expected that in situation after the team have sort of lost control of pretty much all of the map. Once that happens, you've sort of got to check every corner, not knowing who's going to be where. But let's just see who's going strong. Dakas, in fact, actually having a good round. Last round is Nose as a player there in the form of GFC has pushed up close. The sniper at the top of the street and a double nade from Din, sorry, but one of them being his teammate. But I have a feeling there Dakas was going to die, so maybe it wasn't all that bad. Wizard picking up a kill into B Arch before getting the bomb down, and now Arx alone tagged up. So the likelihood is Granted are going to know where he's coming from.
Well, I don't know if they do. I mean, they obviously got the kill from Catwalk at Wooden, so they probably expect him to come out of Wooden here. And Dinsley gets shot from underneath the car as Arx is now in a one-on-one situation with Wizard. He's got 20 seconds on the clock, plenty of time to draw Wizard out, get him to peek and try and defuse that bomb. But Wizard, he's holding his ground as he hears Arx now pushing out, and I feel like Arx, he probably should have defused it a bit, fake that defuse noise. Try and draw Wizard out. Instead, he was just walking around and fannying, basically.
Yeah, and I feel like Dins in that situation when he got killed from Red Car shouldn't have probably been at Red Car, especially if they, they had.
I mean, I think they were sort of adamant that
he would come from one way or the other.
Arx, yeah, I think he was adamant that Arx would come from sort of the Wooden area, so.
Yeah.
Had he come from there, I think the Red Car was a good option, but
I think it was just maybe bad teamwork in sort of that situation, or bad comms, and the fact that there was an area that wasn't covered and it was a pretty important area.
Yeah.
But Granted, pretty much with a clean sweep except for Strove, and Granted just looking unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, and of course the Granted side, I mean, they're favouring an A push this round. I mean, Blooper there. Where is Blooper? Yeah, so Blooper is on the A side. So I mean, Wizard here, he needs to get his scope out, or Dins needs to get his nade out as he does take down Blooper, and Dins with another frag there onto Apu. So, suddenly you're on a 4-on-3 situation, and you'd have to favour Granted in this side, although they have left that flower site uncontested. However, Dins tries to make his way up as Mensch is sat in that AR, waiting for that plant. Doesn't manage to land any tags as Arx managed to kill Hidza, but Dins quickly chimes in with a frag of his own. And Strove coming up the rear, taking down Mensch, and we suddenly find Jeffsy all on his own. It's caught off guard, and Strove Manages to finish a round, and it's now 11-5, and Granted need just 2 rounds to win.
Yeah, and if you just look at the scoreboard quickly, Jeffsy and Apu at the moment for this Make It lineup aren't really putting in their shift at the moment, only getting 8 frags between them. So probably need to step it up, and actually what we can do is just follow it off with one of them. Let's see what they're going to be doing. Apu with the SMG, and I feel like Apu, just due to sort of him not getting a good score at the moment, is playing extremely defensive, and a kill he definitely should have got there. Wasn't able to make it, and Din's got the better of him in that sort of situation, and also getting aggressive again, taking down Blooper. Jeffsy capitalises on Din's aggressiveness, and Jeffsy, another player who isn't doing too good for this side, and you can see why in sort of that case. His aim just all over the place, and if you're gonna want to try and beat a team like Granted, you're gonna have to land every shot.
Well, I mean, in fairness to Jesse, there was a lot of pressure on that. You know, it was a 1-on-4 situation. He had shots coming off from his right, he had shots coming off from in front of him, and yeah, I mean, once again, Granted are fishing on the A side. So Jesse, he's the B player. You know, he's not really seeing much of the action.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's the problem with a city, a map like City. You know, you have, if a team favours a bomb site a lot, like if you're the A player on defence, you don't really see much of the action, so you never really get into the game.
Yeah, this happens in CS:GO a lot actually.
Yeah, and I think that's where it suddenly becomes a bit of a problem for your ability to perform. You know, you've not really got into the game at all. But anyway, we see Hidza gets that bomb down.
Hidza actually seen Jeffsy come for the smoke then, but I don't think on his screen he'd actually seen it.
I expected it. Wizard chimes in with a deagle frag quickly of his own, and we're suddenly in a one-on-one situation here, and Mensch now knows where Wizard is. So Wizard will be looking to get the scope shot and lands the shot, and that's it. 13-5.
Yeah, and I mean, Make It were 4-0 up and ended up losing that map 13-5, only winning 1 round within, I don't even know how many, 14 rounds. So they needed to step it up, and they just couldn't seem to do that. And Granted, that strong side that we did mention are able to take it pretty easily and comfortably, which means Granted will go on through to the final of this CyberGamer tournament to go and play FaZe, who we followed for a lot of it actually, so it's going to make for a real interesting game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It'll be a great game to watch, I think. It'll be interesting to see just who can come out on top here, really.
Do we know sort of what's happening in terms of a break or the next game?
Well, I don't think it's meant to start for another 10 minutes, so we'll just take a quick break and we'll throw some music up on stream. So
okay.
Yeah, if we take a 10-minute break, I mean, we'll be back at 9 o'clock, won't we? So.
Yep, 9 o'clock.
Well,
oh, okay.
yeah, 9 o'clock
okay.
CET, 8 o'clock UK time.
Okay, great.
Goddamn time zones.
Right. Yeah. Well, so we'll see. So it's 10 minutes, really, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure you do stick around. The final will be coming up next. So catch you in a short while.
I won't